What's up everybody, we should be live, and I should be unmuted. Is the music okay? More or less, seems fine. Okay, it should be good. And this is the song I mentioned yesterday from the Match Seeker game. It's called Lux OST Lux's Camp, I think, on YouTube. I couldn't find it on no, sorry, I'm blanking. I couldn't find it on Spotify. Lux's Camp Loop, yep. So we'll start with that. And let me tweet that the stream is starting. It should be out. Okay, and let's get into it, I guess. Yesterday we finally got to the movement to work. So at the moment our wheelbarrow is steerable, but only forward. Yeah, when you press forward and we add velocity. And today we have to start with figuring out how to make it. What would be the best way to make it? No answer. That's full screen, so you probably can see it. Let me undo that. Okay. Dream shouldn't be black anymore, hopefully. Gotta fix that, and let's see. Okay, so I'm probably just going to do it the way. Where am I here? Oh, I'm not on creative. I was wondering why I can't fly. Don't mind that. You can check Twitter if you wanna find out what that is. So yeah, if I go to my wheelbarrow now, and I'm pressing forward, then we are riding. So, first order of business is probably to make it respond to all inputs. Yeah, make it respond to all inputs and then mess with velocity. Can't fall down. Can. Oh, and gotta put the player in the moving animation too. Okay, so let's first, I guess, make it go left and right. So that would probably be your velocity. I'm going to need that. Actually, let's first make sure that the other passenger is like doesn't, I don't know, disappear for some weird reason. So let's check what the riding looks like if you are transporting something. Oh. Okay, ideally that wouldn't happen. Okay, so they are just getting transported fine. That's cool. Okay, so let me add the rotation first, I guess. So let's check out the boat. Here I think I'm going to go mainly with the boat code instead of the sled. So you have pressing all of that. Okay, and the jumping. I don't think you can jump with it. I kinda want to increase the player's step height so you can just ride onto the blocks. That seems like a good solution. Boat entity. Let's see, we have boat velocity. That's multiplied by velocity decay. Okay, so I guess it stops. Okay, yeah, so that it stops rotating smoothly. Okay, and yeah, here we adjusted by 1. Okay, so that seems simple enough. Then we have set yaw in update paddles, so that's our pressing forward. Okay, so 1 I think is 1 degree per tick, more or less. Okay, and here we set the same, the yaw velocity is okay. So now it has to go in update velocity. Alright, before that I think. Yeah, so that's our terminal velocity. I think, yeah, that's what it is. Let me comment that so I don't have to think about it in the future. Immediately. Okay, and this should go set velocity. I have only one set velocity call. It goes before that, okay. I think the music might be a bit too loud actually. Yeah, it seems to be, it's really loud in some parts. Okay, so let's actually change that. And I'm feeling today like trying the Bardcore. I mean, kind of vibing with it. We'll see. And that's fine. We make sure that the volume is fine. Okay, it seems good. Where was I? Okay, we have the velocity. Now in update paddles, so in player movement, we gotta do that. If pressing right is different from pressing left, and we are not pressing, okay, so that's velocity. Let's see, if we aren't pressing both buttons, okay, I guess maybe I should add the same thing. If no passengers, we exit. So that's in handle player input. Steer, rather. This has passengers. No return. Not sure when that would happen, but sure. Its velocity is 0 by default. Okay, and then let me see. So if either, so yeah, if one is happening, okay, so that's I think the let me think, what is it? It's the combined velocity. So that's when we are either going left or right, and we are also never mind. If not, so if we are pressing 1, we're either going left or right, and we aren't pressing forwards and we aren't pressing backwards. That's odd. That would mean that we are slowly moving forward when just pressing left or right button. Let me see if that's correct and if that's something I want. Kinda, yeah, I guess. So let me get a boat. Are we moving forward? I can't tell. Kinda. Something stopped us for some reason. Let me see. Let me put a finger on screen. No, that's not going to help. How can I tell? How can I tell if we are moving anywhere? I mean, we wouldn't be moving anywhere. I'm doing circles or not, sorry. Oh man, circles. I'm not sure if I can tell. I mean, I can't by looking at it. Okay, now I can see if we are going left and right, then we are slowly moving forward. Yes, I don't think I care about that. I don't think that makes sense for a wheelbarrow. So let's just add that. And gotta update you from this. Set velocity. Okay, so that's the... I have that. And set paddles moving, don't care about that. So I mean, you might as well just add that. Velocity. And that's kinda all of the steering code actually. Let's see what it looks like, and also let's see how is... that's... music is definitely too loud. Okay, that should be better. Yeah, and let's see if... I mean, yeah, the passenger shouldn't rotate, because I don't have code for that. Let's see if... whatever, let's see. Just test that out. Okay, now it should move the same way the boat does, except going forward when going left and right. Okay, so I can go forward, backwards is really slow. Let's see if I'm pressing forward and backwards, and I should be moving forwards a bit slower. Okay, and there is that. Okay, so that's kind of fine actually. Looks kinda, I mean, not natural maybe. Doesn't look too off-putting. Let me feel that. So I have more space to play around with. If only I could like move my spot, but I really like that little bitch. Bitch. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not sure how to say it to not be saying that word. A bitch. Okay, more or less like that. Yeah, I like that little bitch we have going on here. On the bitch. You don't think that sounds good? Sorry. And we are going to have a nice playground, and technically could mess with slipperiness like in sand and stuff like that. That's for much later, I think. Okay, done. I mean... Okay, so we are definitely not rotating, whereas with the boat we are. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I mean, it does look kinda weird. I mean, it's not too far off from how... Yeah, that looks fine. That's what I would expect if I'm going forward, and left and right at the same time. Yeah, just holding that looks a bit weird. I'm trying to think what it should look like. I mean, you shouldn't be able to just do a full 180. Like maybe a bit like that. I mean, you should stay in the same place and the bow. You should use your hands to do that. Looks so weird when there's no animation. You're just surfing. Okay, I can sprint. I think I want to do sprinting for my boat. Okay, that's a feature. Can I go back and go up? I don't think I can. And the player should go. Okay, but yeah, the boat is the wheelbarrow is going to be stuck. Okay, so let's first make it update the passenger CEO. Let's make that turn a bit faster. EO velocity, and just that in update passenger position. After returning, okay. Can turn in boats. Why don't I have that, actually? Okay. EO velocity. Okay, so that should take care of that. Set EO, set head EO. Let's see if that rotates the passenger too. I don't think there's anything else to do with EO velocity in boat. And that's the last place, okay. Okay, so now it should turn faster. Okay, but it's turning the wrong way, I think. Never mind, it's right. Okay, so I mean that's a reasonable speed for turning. And it's turning my head too. Okay, great. Let's check the passenger. Nope, they haven't rotated. Okay, I think I want EO velocity decay to be like instant almost. Why are they looking permanently towards me? See if that's the same for the boat. So if I'm looking at that tree, now that guy's head is turning. My head is turning too. Okay, never mind, his model is turning, but he's still looking at the same place actually. Wait, let's see. I've been looking there. Yeah, okay, so the controlling passenger doesn't. Okay, they started moving. Let's see, that's after one full turn, it looks like. Yeah, that's when they start moving too. Okay, wait, let me see again. Oh yeah, and their head just now updated just now. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking. Okay, so I'm looking forward. Okay, now let me look as much to the left I can. If I start turning right, that quarter will turn. Okay, so it started rotating instantly. Okay, so if I'm looking here, to the right, we should be able to do like 180 to the right. Yep, and now after a moment, they will catch up. Yeah, okay. Let's see if my wheelbarrow does the same. I think it should. Okay, so if I'm looking, oh never mind, here we can just look 180 around. I guess it's never going to make us rotate. It doesn't care. Okay. Okay, so that's fine. So, steering wheel and updating passengers. Yeah. Okay, and the yaw velocity, I wanted to actually stop much more sharply. So let's see, update velocity. So yaw decay should be much higher. Yaw velocity, velocity decay. Sorry if you hear that, someone is sneezing. Okay, that's both entity. Okay, so this should have its own multiplier, I think. And let's see, should be 2, let's try 0.2. This is a float, okay. Let's multiply that by float 2, and let's see. Should make it feel less floaty. And we'll mess with how fast it goes. Actually, I think I'm going to mess with that off stream, so we will just move on to making the player move, I guess. I do kind of feel like those bardcore songs would sound better with lyrics, at least this one. Yeah, now it's stopping almost instantly. Okay, but is it rotating slower? Or am I tripping? Actually, it's going to be kind of fun. What if I velocity decay is that? We are on land, and velocity decay is the same as nearby slipperiness, okay. I mean, I could have yaw velocity, or rather yaw velocity, yaw decay, and update that on ice, or rather, yeah, based on slipperiness too. But I don't think I care. Shouldn't be noticeable. Okay, so yeah, if I now change that to 0.9 and run another client, is it slower now that I've changed the decay? I'm not sure. Feels kind of slow. It does feel really slow. I think the decay also makes it slower. Makes sense. I mean, it's multiplied by it. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that's much faster, but also, yeah, like I stop. See, I'm holding the button and I'm going to stop holding the button now. Yeah, like you're making a full turn. Okay, so I gotta just increase that. The ODK has to stay like that, and the increase has to be much bigger, much larger. And I don't do anything if I'm on water. To steer. I think that's 6. Let's see how that feels. So I'm just adjust the yaw velocity, and then we'll move on to other things, like yoinking only when somebody's riding, and yeah, player animation. The velocities I can just tweak off stream. And the step height. That too. Okay, that's really fast, and actually... Okay, so that's... it looks like this... I'm increasing the velocity. Hey, look, the hand is responding to my velocity. That's neat, I didn't know it's doing that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I increase the velocity, but it also makes... Not smaller. Rather, yeah, it still makes me rotate now. So maybe I should have a different velocity based on if I'm rotating. So let's see, I could have private or whatever it can be. Public boolean is rotating. Return this pressing left or this pressing right. Let's rename it to is actively rotating. Now in, I don't know why it's not telling me that this is unused, okay, because this is public. These things might be used by something else. Okay, so let's make that 2. Let's see, inside of the update velocity, I have to change that, I guess, to this is actively rotating. Let's make that 1. Otherwise, we make that 0.2f. So if I stop rotating, then we should stop much more abruptly, sharply, I guess. Let's see now. Okay, so that's really fast. Okay, yeah, but when I stop pressing, then you just stop almost instantly. That is what I want. Okay, but yeah, I don't want it to just speed up infinitely, which is doing. Oh man, it just doesn't stop, huh? So let me set a limit. Okay, that velocity decay seems fine, maybe just a touch smaller. And steer. Okay, so let's do... If this yaw velocity is greater than or equal to... Let's make it 10 and see what that looks like. The velocity equals 10. Here, if it's smaller... actually, the other way around. Here it's positive and here it's negative. See how that feels. How fast can we go? Really fast. We make it just a bit faster because it's too slow. Okay, and since it technically can be read in both directions, here I'll just do equals, let's do 0.8f minus. Maybe actually plus, so that it doesn't... Yeah, they should zero out. Doesn't mean I'm going to just perpetually accelerate though, if I don't have a limit. Here, does the velocity decay take care of perpetually accelerating? Not sure. Okay, pressing forward. Okay, I mean, so we just perpetually add that. What stops me from just going infinitely fast? Get velocity, add. Whatever, let's see. Let's restart, so it looks like that. That's the change we are working with. And see what it feels like. Okay, so first yo. So that's still really fast. Okay, I mean it's at 10, so I guess 10 degrees per tick is really fast. Okay, so for some reason we aren't perpetually accelerating. It doesn't seem like we are, and I'm not sure why. Oh man. Really fun rotating like that. Okay, and debug. Okay, if I'm pressing both, then I just stop. So I'm not sure why we aren't perpetually accelerating, whereas with yo, we are. Maybe actually we are perpetually accelerating, but since this is smaller than 1, no, it doesn't make sense. Okay, let me just check. Hold on. Velocity. Okay, let's see, we are adding to x. Okay, so I mean it shouldn't. Oh, I see, because this is your velocity is just stored, and the velocity is per steer tick. Okay, so I mean, makes sense. Okay, so that has to be, bring that for, see how fast 4 is. It can be just slightly faster, I guess. Know what the player velocity is. I want it to be a touch slower than walking and sprinting, respectively. Yeah, okay, I mean, not sure what I expected. Okay, but let's see, that's still... Okay, that still gets too fast. Let's do it, make it be 1. Here, change that to 0.5. See, plus, minus, okay. Okay, so that's definitely too slow. But it gets reasonably fast. Too fast, actually. Okay, it's still perpetually accelerating. Okay, I don't think I can do it like that. Oh man, I didn't change those. Okay. Let's now set these to 5. Those conditions were never actually triggering. That has to be faster. So much time spent compiling. Should, I guess, look into updates when changing method. Man, I'm so fast, actually. Oh, not that fast. Okay, but rotating is really rough. Okay, so let's see, that's too slow. Okay, but the max velocity is also a bit too slow. Okay, so let's make that faster. Okay, so 5 degrees per tick is too slow. Make that 10. And see how that feels. Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, that's what tweaking the velocity is going to look like. So I mean, it doesn't make sense for me to add just be that the velocity. Am I not changing it at all over here? I guess I'm not, huh? So it can be just ternary. So a float velocity equals. Ah, never mind. It can be. Can't be. Let me move that here. Let me move that here. Okay, so that's a bit too fast, I think. Hmm. Okay, and now I'm pressing left and right. Like alternating between left and right. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's not what I want. So I'm probably going to need like last pressing left and last pressing right. I think both actually has something like that. Never mind, I think it's paddle phases. No, forgot what it was, but I saw something similar to what I am trying to do. Okay, so this is the fast, never mind, you move really slowly. Hmm. Okay, that's really unpleasant, I mean, unintuitive to steer. Like that it's rotating you too. Actually, boat isn't doing that, is it? No, it is, but just much slower. Yeah. It's like it's really hard to steer while I'm trying to look at something. But I think that's because this is too fast. Okay, so let's make that slower first. Whatever, let's just finish that. Even though it's not the most exciting thing. Was that fine? I think it was, not sure. I forgot. Okay, so that seems fine. And maximum also seems fine, but I gotta get rid of that floating, okay? Because that's that's throwing me off. Let's see, it's actively rotating. And let me think about it. If we are actively rotating, the steer, yes, I think that should be done on tick, maybe setting last value. The private float. It can just be an int. Last yo. Last rotate, maybe. Let's go to previous rotate. -1 if left, 1 if right, 0 if wasn't previously rotating. Okay. I'm cooking. Now maybe in tick method, before steering, we set. Actually, let's just set that here. This previous rotate equals the this pressing left -1, this pressing right 1, and otherwise 0. Okay. So if we are rotating, yeah, if we were rotating, then we, oh man, can't put it into words. Just see, if we were rotating, then we are either -1 or 1. We weren't rotating, sorry, then 0. And update velocity now. Have to use it. So let's have a yo velocity, a float. Velocity UDK maybe. And let's make that 15F. If this pressing left and so if we are turning left right now, let me think. If we were turning left, so if this previous rotate, equals -1. Then yield decay equals 1.1. As if... Okay, actually, we want that when it's both 0 and 1. Okay, so if... let's do it 0.5, let's try. Okay, so if we were rotating right and we start rotating left, then we just really abruptly decay the yaw and proceed as normal, I think. And now we gotta do the same for if this pressing right, pressing left, and this previous rotate equals 1, pressing right, and this previous rotate equals -1. Yaw decay equals... Okay, not sure if I'm thinking... My thinking is correct there. Okay, else if... Okay, so let's start with 1. Let's make it 1 by default. Else if pressing right or pressing left, not pressing right and not pressing left. We set that to yaw decay. Let's try that. Okay, that seems like a thing. Let's see if it's doing what I need it to do. Boolean turning left after right equals Boolean turning right after left equals if turning left after right or turning right after left. Okay, that looks like the same thing. Let's see, I'm holding left, and that's a reasonable speed. It looks... doesn't look that bad. Looks fine, I guess. Pressing right, okay, that's the same. Okay, so it's still it's still floated a bit. So maybe I need to do that in steering actually. It's still floating. So like I'm turning left right now and I press right instantly. And yeah, there's this easing that's happening. I don't want that. So maybe I should do that in steering and not in update velocity. Let me think. What does steer look like? So if we were pressing left, then I could just set that to like 0 maybe. Yeah, we stopped abruptly and then we... I don't think that's... Okay, because what I did is like happening only for one tick. Maybe I should Yeah, and it looks like because that slower decay like this, I think should happen over a few ticks, not just one. Let me just add a log there. Right. One after another. Let's do that here. If turning left after right or turning right after left. Let's add a log here and check the velocity. SEO velocity. Okay, then let's just see if it's being called at all and what the velocity looks like. I mean, it should work in theory if we are at -7 and just go really quickly to whatever 5% of -7 is, and we start adding the second one. Oh man. Go back there and let's see. Okay, so I mean pressing left and right really quick is working. Okay, so this is a really small number. Is it working? Kinda. Okay, so I think yeah, the issue is that I'm not pressing right after left like instantly actually. It takes me a bit longer than one tick. Yeah, when I pull it off, when I manage to press A after D or D after A, like in that one tick, then it's actually applying that correctly. But I am a boomer and I can't do that. So it looks like I need some leeway. Let me check if. Oh man. Oh, whatever, I don't care about that. Let me check if sled entity or any of the aircraft entities are like steerable instantly. I mean, I don't think they are. They probably just turn left and right smoothly. And my wheelbarrow should do the same, I guess. But I really don't like that. I wanted to feel a bit more responsive. Okay, we are still a bit too fast. It'll be much slower. Yo. Is there anything with yo? Input left. What does it do? Can steer. Delta rotation. Right. Time sequence. Increase the rotation friction on going forward. Turning is hard. Apply friction. Okay, so I mean that makes sense. Roller doesn't seem like too bad of a thing to do. And I don't think I'm going to. So this is in apply friction, so probably in update movement. Common configs rotation friction on W. Okay, rotation friction. What's that? What's a default of that? Is there a default? There is. It's on 92. Sound friction, no friction. I don't think I care about these, to be honest. I mean, it makes sense to have them, but I mean, it's a game, so it's fine. Found them. Steer factor. Builder pop. Okay, let me change the music. Multiply angular velocity by this number each tick. Rotational drag. Okay, I mean, I do want rotational drag, however you wanna call it. I also don't want it, so I guess that's where I'm conflicted. Yo. Entity renderer, where's an entity here? Herd. Linear interpolation 2. Okay, not sure why. I would have to mess with that. Get this mount offset. Position descriptor. Rotary cannon, rotational manager. Yo and last yo. Okay. Turn. That's a diff. Return diff. Okay, so let's see, that's times a pi. Okay, so maximum is a pi, not sure why. I think it probably so that it's a circle. And never mind, it's always a circle. Or why have a pi there instead of just anything else. So let's see, diff is that. So this is doing some tick delta stuff, and I mean it would make sense for. I mean, I should have to do it too, and I'm not sure why I don't. It's fine. Camera point to etan to tangents. I wonder what tangents is in English. Tangent. Oh, shocking. Okay. So what's the multiplier there? Okay, it seems to be the same for everything actually. So just by pi times 2. That's around 3. Okay, so I kind of, I guess, want to have a debounced updater. Debounced turning left after right. Actually, whatever, let me comment that. Let me remove that, let me comment that, and let's just see what the steering is. Like everything else has a rotational drag. But I don't like it. And that's the issue. Because on one hand it should have it, on the other I don't want it and I don't like it. Okay, so I mean that's not that bad. Okay, but I should have it be consistent, I guess. Can't have it be so that when you stop pressing then it stops abruptly. And then when you go from one direction to the other, then it's floating. So I mean I would like that. But yeah, when I stop pressing, like I like that. Oh man, I can't. Yeah, I like that. And I don't like that. Actually, I think it's fine for a wheelbarrow. So never mind. I've just grown to like it. Is that how you say it? I hope so. Sorry if not. Okay, so I think that's fine. Okay, so the rotation is actually a bit too fast, maximum rotation, and the velocity is a bit too fast. Whatever, let's just remove all of that. Your decay. Hmm. Actually, I'm not sure. Make it 0.6 and see what's going to happen. Okay, so I need steer. Let's make that 5. Skip that. And that has to be much smaller. Okay, whatever. After that test, let's just move on. Making the player move instead of slide. Behind the wheelbarrow, sliding behind the wheelbarrow. And the other thing was yoinking. Okay, so that's fine. Seems to be a bit faster than both. Yeah, okay. It is slightly faster. Okay, and I like that actually. That's chill. Okay, we seem to be accelerating randomly. Or am I making that up? Hmm. Okay, like when I go, I think, from one direction to the other, seems to go faster, slightly faster. Yeah, we are accelerating randomly for some reason. Sometimes we just move faster than we should be moving. Okay, I need to check how much faster it is compared to walking. And how can I do that? Let me make a thingy. Say from here to there. Okay, let me get my phone and just measure it. Very scientific way of doing so. Okay, a stopwatch and so that took me 3.75 seconds to do it. And now for this. Okay, that's slower. Okay, by about 1.25 seconds. So I mean that's a reasonable speed. Okay, so I also gonna get the sprinting. The sprinting. And when you are sprinting, then I'm going to make you make the velocity decay larger. Okay, I like that. Yeah, that sounds fun. Okay, so let's add the sprinting. Actually, I think I'm almost there with the velocities. They seem good enough. Feed entity. I love features, of course. Feature entity. See. Adjust steering velocities. Okay, and now for the sprinting. So if this sprinting, that should technically only happen if you are going forward because you can't sprint backwards. But I will make it work backwards too. Sprinting, because why not? Velocity minus equals. Okay, so let's just do 0.1f. And here, let's have it be sprinting modifier equals 0.0f. Okay. Okay, let's try 0.2. Printing modifier f minus. If this sprinting, then we add this printing modifier. Okay, let's see. Oh, and now we have to, okay. Let me remove the last previous rotate. Okay, I shouldn't need jumping. I don't care if you are jumping. Let's remove that. Actually, I need to keep the signature same. Okay, so we have to do, let me write that out so I don't forget. Okay, I'm just moving velocity. Move stream. I'm just moving velocity. Okay, and next things we are going to be doing is step height, yoinking, and then is maybe later. Figure out inputs. Okay, I did that. Okay, I won't be using this. Okay, so my schizo nodes are there. Hopefully we finish them. I didn't touch that. I changed sprinting. Okay, so yes, I think that has to be velocity modifier. Also, that's definitely too much. I mean, okay, whatever. You can sprint backwards, so let me remove that because that's doesn't make sense. And I guess that should be in velocity modifier, maybe. Let's see. Sprinting. Sprint. Is sprint used anywhere? No, you can't sprint here. So update velocity. Let's see if I can add that here. Okay, so I have Y mode, velocity decay. If this sprinting, then this velocity decay is, let's see, I'm going to have to adjust that. Nearby slipperiness. Okay, and I do that on check location. Okay, so probably just adjust those values a bit. Sure, if you can hear background noise, I'm not sure. If it probably picks it up sometimes when I'm speaking. It should be fine when I'm quiet. Don't worry about it. But I am sorry if it's annoying. Okay, so I get in the slipperiness of a block. Okay. Times equals, is that what I want to do? And velocity. Times equals, okay, so let's just make it a bit smaller. Let's just half it. Half it. Let's see what that feels like. That should only work when I'm pressing forward, actually. Because the moment I should be able to press forward, sprint, and then let go of the W key. And this should slide me forward. That's not how it should work. It actually slows me down for some reason. Okay, yeah, it should be larger, my bad. So let's adjust that. Smaller but larger. Just make that big. And this pressing forward. See it working first, and then we can adjust it. Yeah, and the thing I wanted to do was sprinting. Despite me doing it right now. Okay, whatever. I shouldn't forget I'm doing it while I'm doing it. Hopefully. Okay, so that makes me much faster. See, if I'm pressing forward and sprint and I let go of forward, it doesn't do anything. Okay. That was... So I guess that has to apply only on land. Or in water, have a much smaller value. And just first make it smaller, and maybe it's fine in water. Let's make that 1. Is that a float? Let's multiply that by a float too. Can I replace all instances of a digit followed by an uppercase F and replace that? Okay, so I need to capture that digit. That's correct. After uppercase F. I should be able to do in lowercase f. Yellow. Maybe I didn't break anything. I'm not sure why I would want an uppercase f instead of a lowercase f. Let's see if anybody has an opinion on that. Java, float, uppercase f versus lowercase. In the documentation, float string leads to float value of string, which finally leads to double value of string, describing what is accepted and what is not. So it ends, allowing f, d, and d only. For the assignment part, you can store integer types into floating point ones, and that is why it works. 1L, it's not text. Okay, so I don't think that's the question I'm having. No difference. It's the special suffix for float literals. Either works fine. With the long literals, there's a stylistic difference. Okay, so there's no difference, and I prefer the lowercase. Where did my wheelbarrow go? So if I'm pressing shift, I'm just going slightly faster. In water, actually, it should have a much bigger velocity decay. Much smaller, bigger, bigger, or smaller, smaller. Indeed, velocity. Okay, so that can be a bit larger, I think. Let's make that 0.2. And in water, underwater, velocity decay has to be 4, maybe? Land. Okay, so land is nearby slipperiness. I'm not sure how big it is. Let's try to see. Get nearby slipperiness. Get block slipperiness, and let's see how big these are. I won't be able to see. And can I import a block of sand? Import sand block. Sand block. Sand. Nope, okay. Can I import ice? Ice block, I can. Slipperiness. Method state. Okay, so that's an abstract or something. Okay, so I'm not going to find blocks that way, so I just have to blindly mess with the value. Nothing new. My multiplier double, okay. 0.9, so basically no decay, basically. Flowing water, that's also 0.9. No, I think that should be under. I'm assuming this is under, because I copied that code from board, but I'm assuming that's not in, that's just under. And I'm gonna see how it moves in flowing water. That should be the same, I think. That's 0.4, and that was increased to 1.2. I'm sorry, that's not that interesting, but let's just finish it. More or less, is the sprinting. I really like that song. Okay, and I'm going to want to build myself a tower. Okay, so that's definitely going too fast. Yeah, so you should be able to... Oh, man. That's a bug. A bug. Oh. So I feel like that's because there's no... Okay, so I'll tackle that in a moment. Bug, you fall off the wall if dismounting in air on the ground behind you. I think that's what's causing it. But let's go back to checking the shift speed. Okay, so the issue that this is putting me in sprint. Here I have to press it, rather hold it. You sprint in both. And in water, I think. No, never mind, you can't. Yeah, nothing's happening when I'm pressing shift. It's whatever, I guess let's just not have sprinting then. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, again, okay. So let's remove sprinting. Let me check the velocity decay in water. Rather, what I want to check is if steer a boat in air. Yeah, I probably can rotate it. I can. And I can go backwards. Let me make it larger. See, how far am I going to get? So now I'm holding W. I held W that whole time. Wonder whose skins these are, by the way. Maybe fabric maintainers? Yeah, okay, so I can steer in air, but the velocity decay thing is too small for my wheelbarrow. Like you just zoom. Okay. See what it looks like in water. Okay, that's a reasonable speed. Really slow. I like that. And in flowing water it should be the same. How can I check that without it spilling like that, I guess? Okay, so that's slower than on ground, not by much, actually. Okay, so I guess a bit slower, yeah? Slower still. Okay, so update velocity. Okay, so under flowing water, let's make that 3. And in air, it has to be 6. Let's make it a half. And was there anything else? I don't think so. Okay, since you can sprint, I don't think I need to care about the yaw decay. yaw decay while sprinting. You can sprint. So let's see, I should be able to test that with this. Okay, yeah, you move much slower. I think that's a reasonable speed. We do that again. Okay, that's much slower. I mean, one could say a bit too slow, but you're driving a wheelbarrow underwater. I think it can be that slow. Now we aren't that much slower than on walking, and I mean that's fine. Are we faster actually? No, I mean I tested that we are slower, so that's not by that much. It feels faster. Okay, and let's see in air. Okay, that was almost as if we did nothing. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm not sure why. You should be able to steer that in air. That's fine. Do I take full damage? No. Okay, that's fine. So baggy full of world. Okay, so that's going to be next. Okay, so that's the refactor. Here. Entity. Adjust. Non-land. Velocity decays. Now for that bug when you get dismount. You get with dismount height, I think that's the issue. Let's see. Print line. Dismount. Y offset. Mount Y offset. For log position. And let's get that. Mounting at height. Lock position. Get Y plus dismount Y offset. Okay. Should be all the information I need. Make offset yaw aware. Okay, so that's a command. I'm change that to makes because it makes me think that I have to do it. Baldur's Gate 3 has such good songs. So let's see, now it should be my 63, okay. So here it should be 63 and a half. Okay. Well, there's a 630. Is it 630? Offset is a half. Okay, for the block. Makes sense. Oh, I messed that up. Yeah, I have. That should be in parentheses. And now it's going to dismount me minus infinity, okay. I guess I need a math minimum. Rather a maximum, a larger one. And let's see, its offset is minus infinity. Get this modified, it should tell me that it's minus infinity. Okay, so technically could the small height be negative in a valid way? I don't think it can. I'm taking floored, so a block below, and then I go up. Or, I mean, that's at least that's what it was. Math max. Math helper. Math helper has seal, clamp. Okay. Larger one of the two. That should be fine. Red at anvil chunk storage. Maybe I don't think that command. It's in two different places. So I should be able to not skill issue myself. Okay, yep. Then this mounts me in air. Okay, what if there's a slab here? Still should dismount me in air. Yep. Okay, so I just gracefully fall down, that's fine. This works. Okay, what if I have a stair? Just make sure there isn't a weird edge case. Man, can't fit through that. This boat doesn't fit through that either. Yep, how about a minecart? Oh, I can't put rails on slabs. Does that fit here? It does. Should my wheelbarrow fit too? I mean, it looks like it does fit. Like the boat. Are they the same width? Kind of. Let me count. 1, 2, 8, 9. Okay, so that's 16. Do we have Okay, so that's 16.2. We should be able to fit. Okay. Let me make it fit here. Let me test flowing water. It just works. Ernie, sup? Oh man, I guess I have to fix that. How can I do that? Nothing much. What about you? I'm doing really good. Like I've got all of that working. Like good enough. You can steer it. Next thing is making it go up the blocks, and now it looks like get a handle going against the water too. The velocity doesn't change. It just doesn't care that there's flowing water here. And yeah, I can entomb myself. That's yes something I have to take care about too. And also I have to make it fit through that gap because minecart fits through it and it's the perfect width. So yeah, I'm going to be doing those three things. So the first two, or rather fitting and what was it? Okay, only fitting through that is simple. I'm not sure how to not entomb myself, and I'm not sure how to handle that. What does the boat do? It speeds up, okay. I mean, there are no other entities that they could test it on. Make the hitbox include the player. I guess a dynamic hitbox? The thing with hitboxes is that they are a square and I can't expand it in only one dimension, unfortunately. Though that's weird because the player's hitbox is a rectangle, but yeah, square in X and Z, but a rectangle in Y. I don't think I can expand only that. Maybe entombing yourself is a feature actually. Like, let's see, imagine you're playing hide and seek, and you do that. How visible am I? Let's see. If you can find me. Okay, but I want to test a minecart. What's going to happen if I ride it into flowing water? Okay, so I need a truck here. Kind of a truck. And just push a minecart into water. Okay, so I mean, slowed down instantly, and I think that's because that's just what it does. Yeah, without rails. How do I feel about it? I mean, it looks so trippy. Like, I feel like the hitbox is rotating, but it's just the wheelbarrow. Hitbox is staying in place. Okay. Yeah, here we slow down because we are under water. I guess I should... I mean, technically I probably need a in-water detection. Same way I have underwater and under flowing water. Make it, for example, move slower here. But that sounds hard. Okay, so let's see if it's a hide and seek feature. I just hide myself. Oh, not really. See, can I... Can I... Oh man, no, it doesn't look like I can do that more. So hard to steer myself like that. Okay. No item in hand, it looks straight. Let's see. Almost. Okay, if I look up, it works. Or up. Where am I looking? Okay. Almost. Hmm. I mean, can I shift? No, I dismounted. Whatever, let's not care about it for now. Maybe turn a little more. Nah, I think. Then I started poking out from the other side. Okay, so let's see, I'm not going to do the water, so let's see the hitbox. Okay, so here, or actually it is a rectangle. Am I tripping? Okay, it is, my bad. Nah, it is, yeah, it's only height, a rectangle in height. So I was correct. So how large is a minecart? I mean, it has to be a 1F to fit. Let's check. But changing that is going to affect the yoinking distance. So I'm not a fan of that. Now we should be able to fit between those stairs. Yeah, so now it's just a one block. One by one. I mean, it looks... it's definitely not one by one in the model. Yeah, now I should be able to fit through that. No, I don't seem to be able to. That's all. What does a minecart fit then? Maybe I can shove it? No, not really. So is minecart smaller still? Can I find that somewhere? Minecart hitbox. More than one by one. I mean, that's what it seems like. See. No, it is 16 by 16 here. That's definitely... I mean, that's 16 pixels. And that's the same as my mine. Is it? I know. Is my wheelbarrow wider? I mean, it looks chunkier. Yours? Yeah, I mean, it seems a little wider. Shouldn't be. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I mean, it's 6. The texture is 16 by 16. But yeah, if you look here, hitbox is just slightly smaller than that. Let's check the internet. Entity hitbox sizes. Minecart 98. Okay. Both. Out of water, in water. Minecart. Why does it have 2 height? Okay. So I mean, I can do that, but maybe my wheelbarrow shouldn't fit here. It definitely should. So let's make it the same as minecart. 98. Okay. But it looks so bad in the other axis. The length is so off. Why does it have to be a A square, why can't it be a rectangle? Can't it be a rectangle? Minecraft, rectangle, maybe there's a library for that. Hitbox. Godot, hitboxes, custom hitbox. You can't have rectangle hitboxes simply because of the way Minecraft handles hitboxes and collisions. Okay. Double hitbox. Okay, so now it should fit. Okay, it does. But okay, I'm standing in it. I mean, not like it was much better. Like I couldn't do that when it was larger, but I could do that less. Like that looks. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. Like if I'm sneaking, like look at me, shoving my butt under that. I mean, that's whatever. I think it should fit, and there's no other way for me to do that. So what's next? Okay, so I can't. Can I handle not entombing myself? Can't you make a second hitbox and rotate the hitbox with the wheelbarrow? You can't rotate the hitbox. Like, yeah, look, the hitbox just stays a square. An unmoving square. I don't think you can do that in Minecraft, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't think, or actually something has to have more hitboxes, like an Ender Dragon. Let's see. I summon Ender Dragon. Yeah, that's some weird stuff going on here, but it has one giant hitbox, the white one, white thingy, and then those green are some additional magic. I don't think is kill Ender. Why is it so loud? Yeah, I don't think those green hitboxes are can be used for shoving detection, and that's based on my on nothing. But I just don't think that's going to work like that. Okay, so can I handle entombing myself? Not really. Like, let's see, there is the commit that. Create entity. Same hitbox as minecart. Here, fix entity. Don't fall off the world when dismounting. Okay, so there's the collision, block collision. Yeah, check block collision. Check the entity's block collision, calling on entity collision and on block collision. This should be called manually if tick is overridden. Okay, so if I were to, I mean, it's not that big of a method. Yeah, but it seems to just throw. Continue, return, try on entity collision. Oh man, what is it doing? Okay, so it's going by a very small number in the X and Z directions. Then we check is region loaded, and if it is, then we iterate through Okay, so we just go through the biggest, our collision box basically, every block in our hitbox, and we get the block state and try on entity collision. Mutable, that's block position. This on block collision, okay, but what does it do? You're nothing. And this one, block, get block on entity collision. Okay, nothing to deprecated. Either calling abstract block state on entity collision. Okay, I don't think I'm getting anywhere. So entombing yourself is going to be a feature for now, until somebody has an issue with it. And since I don't have an issue with it, then yeah, it's a feature. Okay, fix that. Let's try to add the step height, or maybe let's try to make the player walk when riding instead of just doing that. Okay, but I think, yeah, there's still this weird issue where you move faster when you jiggle like that, left and right. It feels faster. I don't think it is actually, okay, so I'm just tripping. Okay, so how do I play animation? Player, play animation. Any modes changing player animations for fabric? I think that's... Let me start by looking at the entity model animation. Animate arms, okay, that's not it. Maybe renderer too. Could be it. Import player entity renderer. Does that have animation? Model pose, position offset. No, this is just for rendering body parts. Makes sense. Setup transformations. Leaning pitch. DE, very useful variable names. So that's when I get leaning, get pitch. Okay, so this is when we are falling. Otherwise, it's when we are leaning. Okay, not sure, but it doesn't seem like walking. Throw spear, use action. Okay, but that's for arm pose. I mean, there's a walking animation in Minecraft. Okay. Oh, and I would need my walking to only affect legs. Oh, that's going to be difficult. Because you can't like jiggle your arms like that when you're riding a wheelbarrow. They gotta stay there. Okay, but that's not in renderer. Animate arms. Hand swing progress, okay. That looks... animate arms. So is there animate legs? Left arm. Interpolation angle, visible. No, I don't see anything leg related. Actually, it's using item. No, these are arms too. Right leg pivot is sneaking, okay. Where is walking? Layer animation. Okay, what if I were to... Do I want to look at a mod that changes? Not enough animation. That changes the animations and see maybe how that's done there. Not quite. It seems to just set angles. Okay, but let's check that out anyway. Looks like they've skipped 1.20.4 modes. Cursed. Why is that cursed? Mixmatica, simple mixing mode that adds arithmetica. Okay. What looks like a animation? Eating animation, chat, spawn. Maka Maka Chicken. Okay, so these are just clients. This is the client side mode, probably. Yep. Looks so cursed. Nia, not enough animations. Okay. So that's Fabric Forge. Shared. It should have a mix in, yep. Update render layer items. Source render layer swap. The way to change the length of a hitbox by length z individually instead of width, which is x and z. Okay, so there's no way to do that. LL library. Entities with multiple hitboxes. Okay, so I would have to use a library. 65 million downloads. Okay, that's for 1.20.1. That's really bright. Yes, that was dark already. And it has no comments, so I'm not sure if it was updated. Has vanished. Discontinued. Okay. Let's not care about that. And where is an animation example? How do I make serious player animation? Player animator. Animate the player using keyframes. Okay, so that has only 12,000 downloads, but maybe it has an example how to do stuff. What version was that for? 1.20.4? Kinda, maybe. His body, is there anything walking related? Nope. Walk. Horse walk animation position. Can I just call like a player? Update passenger position. Can I do passenger animation? Walk. Nope. That would be too easy. Too convenient. Animate damage. Bypasses landing effects, okay. Do you take full damage in minecart? I'm not sure. Walk. Surely has something walking related. It does. Animation config walking. Get walking, okay. I don't think that's it though. Get walking sneak. Okay, maybe I need to call get or set. Passenger. Set. Set position. Sneaking, swimming, sprinting. Is there walking? Walking, no. Set animation, no. About get animation, nope. And not get walking either. Where could walking be handled? Any ideas? Biped entity model, walking, walk, velocity, set angles. Okay, so that's for some K. Manipulation, which is arm related to. Let's try to chat GPT it real quick. Animation. Entity walk animation. Position, partial ticks. Okay, that's a lead. Okay, so this is check location. Then try to first if passenger. If he's controlling passenger. If passenger instance of. Just to make sure I'm not missing any properties. Instance of player entity, player passenger. Okay, walk. Wake up. Nope. Apply movement input. Wonder what that does. So I don't think. Okay, so this has to be a. Okay, I mean this is on a custom entity, so maybe not. Animal, water animal. Okay, so these are probably just this walk animation. Yeah, this extends player rideable jumping. Implements, rather. Extends Gingy entity. Which extends an abstract golem. In Minecraft, whatever, let's use find. How can I make player model play an animation like walking? Player get vehicle. My vehicle. Make a player model play an animation like walking. Let's see if walking animation probably stops smoothly. Doesn't. Yeah, more or less smoothly. Set rotation angles, okay. Is player in my vehicle. Apply walking animation. Layer. Set rotation angles, okay, so that doesn't exist. Set pitch. Set body yaw. I think I need model. Get model. No. So that sounds like something that should happen on client side. But I'm not sure. Okay, so I guess the easiest would be just for me to just ask on the modded Minecraft Discord later off stream. And now we can try to adjust the step height. Animation overhaul. What's that? So that's not maintained anymore. Let's try to find anything step height related on Linky. Maybe I can just increase it. Step height. Entity step height. Set step height. Get step height. So what's going to happen if I just in constructor this set step height? Can I do that? What's going to happen if I set it to 1? Actually, what's the default? This gets step height. This step height. Is that set the default value anywhere? No, doesn't seem like it is. Okay, let's try 1. A float. Actually, let's try to make sure it's doing something. Hmm. Let's see, I'm probably going to have to. There are two cases. Either the step height is like global, so if I push a wheelbarrow on top of a block, it's going to just jump onto it. Yep, it did. Okay. Why did it do that so slowly? That looks kind of funny. Okay, so yeah, the step height has to be adjusted only when changed, when player is controlling it. Okay, so I set it to 2. Okay, but that's easy. That's nice. It should get up that block too. Okay, and does 2 mean that it's going to get up that too? Yep. Okay, so it has to be 1 and only when a player is riding it. Link passenger. Let's see, in tick, probably. Maybe I should override it. Get see. Get what is it? Step height. Yeah, I mean there's this. So while I can override it, maybe I should. Can sprint as vehicle. Oh. Didn't know that's a thing. But I guess no, in my case. Okay, so let's see. I could either override the getter or adjust it. Use the setter, and I mean the setter is there for a reason. So I probably have to use this setter. And I would like it to be higher when I have a controlling passenger, and the controlling passenger is an instance of player entity. Player entity. Can yoink. Update velocity, get passenger attachment position. Okay, so that probably has to be in tick. Boolean is controlled by player. Instance of player entity. Yeah, but controlling passenger might be nothing actually, it might be null. You're null and void. Is that a Java reference? List gets other entities. If list is empty, if list is not empty, okay, so I shouldn't do that here. Should do that here. And yoink is server and okay, so actually I want that to be and is controlled by player. Okay, so let's add that too. If can yoink and this passenger list size is smaller than max passengers. And entity doesn't have the vehicle, and this can be yoinked entity, which is with. Okay, so with actually has changed, so I gotta do just that so it can yoink bigger stuff. What's the cow hitbox? Hitboxes. Hope that's accurate. That doesn't look that much better. The base size turtle. It should be able to yoink a turtle. A panda, sure, a panda too. Horse. So at least 1.4. A ravager, nope. A spider, sure. So 1.4. Iron golem, sure. Not a giant. Large slime, okay, not a large slime then. Elder Guardian out of water. Okay, not the Elder Guardian, that's fine. Spurb, player, boat. So 1.4 seems fine. Because I wanted to be able to yoink a spider and a horse. But I mean, an iron golem, we'll see what it looks like. 1.4 up to horse, iron golem, spider. Can yoink. Is server and is controlled by player. Okay, so can be yoinked entity. Entity is an instance of living entity. We should check that first. And entity is not a player entity. No, looks like I can format it like that. Okay, not that in new line, not everything else can. So I find that to be more readable. Okay, so that's expanding the box. Let's sure expand that by a bit too. Can be pushed. Okay. Can be pushed. Huh? What can't be pushed? Check collision rules, scoreboard team. Okay, so players on the same team probably can't be pushed by each other. Except spectator and let's see if it's pushable. I'll just test if entities can be yoinked, I guess. Let's see, here in tick we gotta set controlling player. It's controlled by player, controlling passenger, instance of player entity. Okay. If is controlled by player, this set step height 1. This set step height is controlled by player 1. 0. Doesn't make sense for it to be rideable up and down the blocks only when controlled by the player. Shouldn't just always be able to go up and down. Okay, maybe let's make it a half when it's not, so I can push it like up the stairs and slabs. So it should be pushable here. Yep. And onto the second block too. Okay, and standalone should just get stuck here. What if you're riding it? Okay, yeah, then you can just go up and down blocks. Okay, that's really cool. You're getting somewhere. And how does it handle these stairs? Let's create an abomination real quick. Okay, it's fine on stairs too. Okay, nice. Now I guess we can also check yoinking. It should work. See, let's start with something small. A rabbit. A wabbit. It should not be yoinked like that, but if I'm riding it... Nice. Okay. What's up, buddy? Looks so funny. And that looks funny, but it feels so good. Let's go. Can yoink a thing and I'm gonna murder it, unfortunately. Okay, maybe I can do that somewhere. Recovery compass. Okay, so let's check a cow, an iron golem, ravager, horse. Sure, let's check all of those horses. And a spider. Get in, buddy. Okay, it took a moment. So I guess I can adjust the hitbox. Should be slightly larger. It's happening only when you're riding it. Okay, and that's so I guess that means if you're going to be able to eat something out of it, then I will have to add to that something a cooldown so it cannot be yoinked again for a moment. So I guess mixing that targets the entity. Hmm. Why is that not always yoinking? Minecraft spawn a still entity. No AI 1, silence 1. Okay. Let's check that. Summon. Town. Myself, sure. no AI, 1 silent, 1 invulnerable, 1. Hmm. Okay, so not at fire, just here. Okay, so let's see. Should yoink it here. Okay, let's see. It doesn't yoink it like that. So yeah, from the side it doesn't work, unfortunately. And go from an angle. This is the height issue now. Okay, so I seem to have to... And I have to maneuver it. It's not what I want. So the expand seems to be a bit off. If list is not empty, I go through the entities. Did I find the one that... Man, I have to go through that logic again. I should have just commented what it does. If I don't have next, then I return. Otherwise, I set the entity to the next entity, and I do that while the entity has passenger this. So actually, that seems to skip all the entities that are passengers of this. Say print line entities. List for each map. Okay, I'm not sure what it's going to... the log is going to look like. I should be able to commit that. Entity, step height, with, without, controlling passenger. Now let's see, what are the entities that technically should be yoinkable? Actually, I have a return here, so I gotta do that before it. Link passenger. Okay, so I think the issue here is that I go through the entities and I return. Okay, don't check every entity. Yeah, I think I fucked that while loop up. They should Not for every entity. That's not a passenger of this. Can I do list filter? No, I can't. Remove if. Removes all of the elements of this collection that satisfy the given predicate. Does that have a predicate I could use? Okay, it has that predicate. So I'd like to refactor that, I guess. I need to create a predicate. Entity. How can I... Okay, so that's a predicate. Test. Okay. So test, I guess, runs the... Okay, yeah. Tests that, shockingly. I have test, and is there anything else? Equals, negate, notify. Nope, okay. So I'd like to return, can we push test? Entity. That, and entity not. Entity has passenger this. Okay, so any entity, I need to do that for any entity that the boat isn't a passenger of. And this is passenger entity, and that isn't the passenger of this. All entities get all other entities in expanded hitbox that aren't the wheelbarrow isn't a passenger of. Wheelbarrow not a passenger of. Entity not passenger of wheelbarrow. And can be pushed. And now it should return basically nothing. Here I should be able to skip it. And this iterator. Okay, so while okay, so I should be able to do for entity of list iterator. Is that how you do it? I need a type. Variable decorator ID. Duplicate local variable entity. Can only iterate over an array of an instance or an instance of Java iterator. What does this return? It does return an iterator. This is a Java iterator. See, how does one iterate? Java for of iterator. Okay. Saved. Getting an iterator. Okay. Looping through a collection. So I guess I have to do it like that. Just do it. In Java, can I do something like for item of iterator? Can directly use a for each loop with an iterator in the same way you might use it with eraser collections. Okay, so iterators just work like that. Okay, but maybe I don't need an iterator then. For entity of list. Can I do that? I can, okay. That's actually what I want. I shouldn't have to do that inside of that if state. Okay, for entity list. Controlling passenger. And not. This passenger has entity, okay. So now I gotta do this. Man, I had a return here. I would have skipped all of that. Okay, if start riding, then I break. Otherwise I continue. Okay. That seems... And entity... Leaving entity. Can I do entity predicates is living, valid living entity. Test if a living entity is valid. Okay, that's not it. What other predicates are there? Equipable, rides. Not that many. What? Valid entity, valid living entity is alive and is an instance of living entity. Okay, not mounted. Valid inventories can collide. Max distance can be pushed by rides and an equipable class. Okay, so I need can be pushed by. I'm not sure about that can be about all of that can be pushed by stuff. If it's pushable. Okay, so if it's pushable, I guess I do want to check that. And if we aren't on client, and if it's not a player, okay, whatever. What happened here? So I want only living entities. Okay, so only living entities. Okay, where can I cast it? List. Can I do that? And cast from list entity to list living entity. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Okay, so for an entity of the... I mean, I guess I can push also non-living entities. Can yoink? Okay, can yoink. And I mean, I should just probably move all of that here. A server is controlled by player. I have empty spots. Entity is not a vehicle. Entity doesn't have a vehicle. Maybe entity predicate tests that actually. Rides is pushable. No, it doesn't seem to. Okay, so if entity is a living entity, if entity doesn't have a vehicle, if entity is not a player, and if it can be yoinked. Okay, so all of these seem reasonable. And I guess I don't want to break because I might want to push away other stuff. And if I start riding, then the size should increase and I shouldn't be able to yoink anything else. Hopefully. Start riding. Can start riding, has vehicle, let's stop riding, set pause, add a passenger, okay. Do I have the log? I don't. Okay, so now, yeah, now it's yoinking really smoothly. Okay, so let's check everything else. Time set. And spider first, get in body. Okay, got you. Probably can hurt me. But it is what it is if somebody wants to. Okay, the hitbox is a bit. Okay, yeah, the hitbox definitely. Yeah, the hitbox doesn't work. Okay, so I'll have to adjust that. Yeah, I can destroy it from down below. Attachment position. Z offset adjusted by entity with spider. Not sure how you spell EG. So let's see. Next is zombie horse. Okay, nice. It fits nicely, kind of. Iron golem, get in body. No, leave them be. Okay, I can yoink an iron golem. Nice. A regular horse, same. Skeleton horse, same. And the last is Ravager. And that should be not yoinkable. Wonder who wins. Probably Ravager. Never mind. Okay, so that's all, I guess. Times a day is what I wanted to do. And adjusted, okay. Previous controlling, okay, I've changed that, and I have a to do here. And player animation is what I hopefully be doing tomorrow. Yoinking only when controlled. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. Got a lot done. So thanks everybody for watching, and see you tomorrow. Bye.